Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we're doing a hack on the Natalie knotted tank. The Natalie knotted tank is a really nice tank, and it's super easy to make, but I've had a few people ask me if there's any way to do a shelf bra on it, so we're gonna go ahead and try it out. This is gonna be a very simple hack. The only thing we're doing differently is to change the length of our lining, which I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna cut that, and then we're going to be adding some elastic at the bottom of the lining, and if you wanted to add some bra cups to the lining, you could also do that. Let's get started by cutting up our fabric. Alright, so here I have my fabric laid out, and here's my facing, and this will be easier done on a if you have a printed copy, but I'm doing it on my projector, and I wanted to show you that it is possible to do on your projector as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to elongate this to be down to my waistline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my sides and the top. Okay, now again, if you're doing this if you have a printed version, if you printed yours, this will be easy to do printed as well. You're just going to overlap the pattern, but since I don't want to print, I just want to do it here, and I also don't want to trace out. That's another thing that you could do. You could trace out your pattern piece and do it that way, but I don't want to do all that. So what I'm doing is I'm going here and I'm cutting that first part of my facing. Okay, and once that's cut off, I'm just removing it so you can really see it. Okay, so here's the top of my facing. I'm gonna go over here where move my bodice back, my front bodice. Let me find it. Where is my front bodice? Here's the fitted, and I'm doing the relaxed version, and I'm going to kind of match up what the armpit area is. I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm matching it up. Okay. As you can see here, I matched up my armpit area here and here. See how it's matched up? So now I've got the same reflection. This is my lining reflection, which is, if you look at it, is the same as my mane. So it's like another piece of my mane. So you could just go ahead and place, and so what you can do is you could cut one whole mane all the way straight, and then you can cut another mane, which will be your lining, at the waistline here. You see this waist here? I want to cut it at the waist because I want this to fall at the waist, because I'm going to have an elastic here, so I want to have a little bit of extra space here that allows me, if I go all the way down to my waistline, then that way it can be like my elastic can be attached here at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do, just to make it easy. I'm going to go to my waistline here, and this will be my lining for my front. And I'm going to do exactly the same for my back. I'm going to cut my back lining down to the waistline, and then I'll be able to add some elastic at the bottom, and that will be my built-in shelf bra situation. All right, now that that's all cut up, we're gonna go ahead and move on to sewing up the bra cups. So if you're going to be sewing bra cups to your lining, you wanna make sure that you sew that up the right way. So the outer edge, the right side of the fabric should be the side that's going to be touching your skin. So you're going to be attaching those cups to the wrong side of the fabric, facing out. So it's going to be like right on top, and how you would attach those is you want to place the lining over yourself and kind of measure where you want them to be, and then you can go ahead and do a zigzag stitch all the way around them. I am not going to be adding them to this tank, but if you have questions on how you do that, you can watch some of our bathing suit tutorials, like the Bethany Beach Beauty swimsuit, and I show you on there how to attach those bra cups. So you can go do that and then come back and watch this video. Now, next is we're just going to go ahead and sew up the tank just like you would sew it up on a regular basis. The same instructions, which we have a tutorial here on the channel. So if you want to go check that out, sew that up, except for the last step where she's to tack the sides down. So before you tack the sides down of your outer and lining, come back to this video. I'm going to show you how to add the elastic underneath the bust, and that's basically it. Super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and sew up the tank, and then we'll get to the elastic. All right, so now I have sewn my tank here it is. Let me turn it right side out. Well, this is inside out. As you can see, I hope you can see. Let me see if you can see here in the closer up. This is my lining piece, and see how the outer side is the outer, and then the lining touches the lining, touches the bodice. And so I've got this longer lining now. So what I'm going to do is, well, if you did not put bra cups on yet, you still can. It'll just be a little bit harder because you'll have to sew through, make sure that it's not, you know, pull it apart, which you'll have to do that anyway when we're attaching the elastic. And you can add the cups there and zigzag stitch them on. I'm not doing that right now. If I change my mind later and I want to add them, easy, simple to do. I don't have any right now. That's the reason why I'm not doing it. Anyway, so, but we're going to add the elastic here at the bottom of the lining. So here's my lining. I've got 2-inch elastic. Now, obviously you can do any kind of size elastic. This is just what I happen to have. And I'm just going to put it right underneath that bust line. So I'm going to sew it right at the waistline. And I think it'll bring it right underneath it. 1.5 inches, 1 to 1.5 inches is probably the best. If I find that it's too long, I might trim my elastic. Too wide, I might trim my elastic. You can trim elastic. So I can do that if I wanted to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure around the under bust area, or, you know, if you have the measurements of what you want, and then I'm going to subtract like 2 inches. So it kind of cinches it in, and then I'm going to cut that piece of elastic. Then you can go ahead and first go to your sew machine and overlap the elastic and sew it together first. That way we're going to add it to your lining next. So I'm going to go over to my sew machine and do a zigzag stitch over these two together, or you can like place them right next to each other and zigzag stitch them together if you don't want that overlap, you don't want to feel that overlap. It really does not bother me, but I know it bothers some people, so that's up to you how you want to sew them together right here. So I'm going to go do that. Now we're going to go ahead and attach it to the bottom of our lining. We're going to quarter this elastic to find this seam will be my back, this will be my front. Match your front and back here, and these will be my sides. So you're quartering this elastic. And now I've got my sides already on my bodice, so I'm going to find my front and back. I cut this one a little too long. That's what happens when you don't have a pattern piece and you kind of just do it on your own. That's okay. I'm just going to trim it. It's just a lining. It doesn't matter. I'm going to trim this too. So I'm going to match the sides, right sides together, and go to the front and back. And obviously you're going to have to stretch your bodice a little bit to fit, your elastic a little bit to fit. Make sure which one's the front, because I want my seam of my elastic to be in the back, just because aesthetically it will look better if it's in the back, right? So this is my back, so this is my back piece right here. So I'm going to place my seam right there, and now you can sew it however you want to. I'm going to sew it right side up, and then I'm going to fold it down like that. Or if you wanted to sew it this way and then encase it up, you can do that as well. You just lose those 2 inches, which is fine because I added more length. So depending on how much you want to, if you want to fold up and cover that whole elastic with your fabric, you want to make sure that it's long enough so that when you fold up, it still fits. Like if I went up here, down here to my waist, if I fold up an inch, it still fits nicely here. But let's say if I cut right below my bust, then I can't fold up because then you'll be over my bust. So that, you want to take that into consideration. You can sew it on first and see how it fits, and then fold up and top stitch. It's up to you. We're kind of just, the reason why I like to do this is because we're learning how to create what we want. And so trial, error, learning how things work, it's so great, because then later you can see a top and be like, I can change that. I can add this to it. And then you can logically think through the steps and how you can achieve that and be able to do it without having to like have an exact pattern or exact instructions. And that's why I like to do these videos, just so you can get more comfortable, as I also get more comfortable with just changing things around and making them my own. So anyway, I'm gonna sew here at the bottom, and I'm gonna do this on my serger. I'm gonna stretch as I sew and sew it all the way around. If you don't want to use the serger, don't have to. You can use your zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. You're gonna need a stretch stitch because it's gonna stretch over your body here. So you want it to kind of cinch in. So let's go do that. All right, so our shelf bra has been added. As you can see here, there it is, the elastic at the bottom. Now, if you want to, again, you can fold this up and top stitch it so that it is, you know, like sewn into it. So that way when you turn it right side out, hold on, let me turn it right side out so you can really see what it's gonna look like. This is the right side of the fabric. This is the inside. So here on the inside, this is what it will look like right now. See how it's nice and finished? But if you wanted it to fold it in, you can always fold it in towards the inside like so. And if you like have that extra, you want it to be like shorter, you want it to be tight in here and you want it to look nice, then I would go right here and top stitch with a zigzag stitch and top stitch that elastic onto the fabric here. Now, this elastic is going to be touching my skin. So if you didn't want your elastic to touch your skin, then when you go to attach, you want to attach the elastic to the wrong side of the fabric. That way, when you turn it over, the elastic will be on the other way. Now, if you wanted to, you can also flip this elastic towards the front like this and top stitch there. And now the elastic won't be touching your skin. So either way, however you want to do it, again, up to your choice. If you wanted it longer, you can leave it down like it is right now. And I think I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna try it on. And if I need to flip it, if I wanna top stitch it, I'll do that. But for now, I'm gonna leave it just as it is. This tank looks so cute. I'm going to hem it and I'm gonna try it on and show you what it looks like. All right, friends, we are finished and this turned out fabulous. It's right here. It's sitting really nicely and snugly and keeping everything nice and tight, which I love because now I don't have to wear a bra with this top and it makes it super nice. I love this. This turned out so well and it was so quick to sew. And I just hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And again, I said it before, I said it earlier, I said it through all my other tutorials. I really want you to have confidence in what you sew and just enjoy it and have fun and change things up a little bit and do what you need to do, what you want to do to change your patterns to fit you. So I hope this was helpful. Comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't so you never miss any of our other tutorials. Comment and let me know what other things you want to see. I hope you have a great day, great rest of your day. Go grab your pattern, come back and sew it up with me, and I'll see you next time.